hi. Good to see that you're here again. Or maybe you're here for the first time. Anything is fine with me. So, what I am planning to do and what I'm planning to show you today is something very unusual. Very unusual for me at least, and probably very unusual for you as well. So, I am a very planned person. I like to make plans. I like to think about where I'm walking, what I would make a video of. But in this video, I want to throw all of that out of the window. And what I want to do is I want to maybe try and get lost in central Delhi, starting from Connaught Place, and maybe have you experience the same thing, getting lost in central Delhi. And the mechanism or medium that I'm going to use is this randomizer. It's like an app where I can feed in different options, essentially different answers to a question. And my question would be, where do I go next? Or where do you go next? And the answer options would be straight, right, or left. And hopefully, with those random answers, we'll get lost in central Delhi. I'm so excited. So I'm gonna pull up the app in a few seconds, and hopefully I'll be able to show it on the screen as well. And yeah, we'll see where we go from this intersection. All right. So here's the app, and I'm gonna turn the wheel, and let's see what this says. Okay, this says we need to take a right from this road, which is Janpath. So let's do it. So Janpath literally translates to road of the people. But when Janpath was built, it wasn't called Janpath because it was the British who planned the development of this road, as well as this entire central Delhi Lutyens area. And Janpath actually in those days was called Queensway, because of course the Queen. And interestingly, the Queensway went south from Connaught Place and eventually met another famous road, which is now called Rajpath, but was then called the Kingsway. So yeah, that's some interesting British history of this area. And that, fittingly, is the Imperial Hotel. And because it's so hot in Delhi right now, let's go inside. So of course, as you can see, it's a beautiful hotel. But besides being beautiful, it also has a powerful history. So the Imperial here on Janpath, wow, look at that, or the Queensway was built around the time New Delhi was built, around 100 years ago, and a lot of famous people have walked these corridors and lived in the rooms and suites at this hotel. And importantly, interestingly, even the partition of India and its discussions that happened between Jinnah and Nehru and Gandhi and the then Viceroy to India, they happened here as well. So, yeah, we are now walking through a lot of history. Anyways, enough of the Imperial Hotel. We are out and about, walking again in the summer heat of Delhi. I think the temperature today has to be more than 40 degrees Celsius, but I'm still braving it, and so are you, as we do this very special, unplanned walk through central Delhi. That's the Imperial. Bye bye, the Imperial. So I'm not really sure if you noticed what's the name of this road that you are walking on right now. I mean, I've taken this nice side route on the road. But the road that we are walking on right now is called the Tolstoy Road, and what you see there is Jantar Mantar, which I think is almost 300 years old, much older than the road. But yeah, the Tolstoy Road again is very historical. It's a New Delhi road, 100 years old, but it's named after the very famous Russian writer Leo Tolstoy. He used to be quite famous in India after independence, when there was a lot of Russian influence here. Not as much anymore, but of course, he is honored here in New Delhi with this road. Oops. So as you may have noticed, I was kind of stuck in that side area, that side space, green space, because it did not have an exit at the end. So I'm back on Tolstoy Road, now heading towards Sansad Marg, and of course adoring these beautiful trees, and also I would say this beautiful road. I will be bringing up the app once again because we are at another intersection, and we'll see where the app wants us to go. Okay, so I'm gonna figure this out. All right. Okay, it says take a left. So you may or may not remember, but in one of our previous episodes, we've actually seen a bit of this area, because this road that I'm walking on now and that you're walking on now is called the Sansad Marg, or the Parliament Street, the beautiful Parliament Street there. So the reason it's called the Parliament Street or the Sansad Marg is of course obvious, because it leads to the Indian Parliament, and of course on the other side it starts from Connaught Place. And this area generally does have a lot of Christian institutions. So while I did get a chance to go inside and check out that area and that church, and it's really nice and peaceful, I'm not sure what's the reasoning behind the name. It's called Free Church, and yes, they did not take any money when I went inside, which is kind of obvious with churches. Uh, so yeah, I guess that's something I'll have to figure out, and you'll have to figure out why it's called Free Church. But as I was saying, this area generally of the Sansad Marg, and also I would say the road which is right next to this, has a concentration of Christian institutes, which is so interesting, right? But anyways, in our quest to get lost in central Delhi, we will continue to walk on the Sansad Marg until we reach the next intersection, and when we do, we'll take out the app again and we'll see where it takes us. So yeah, those are the options that we'll have, but we don't know where we'll go. Let's see. So I'm gonna roll this wheel and let's see where it wants us to go. Okay, it wants us to take another right, which means we will go to Ashoka Road. Alright, so that way of course is Connaught Place, and the road is Sansad Marg, but we've crossed Sansad Marg and are taking a right turn to now walk on Ashoka Road, and we are walking towards, I think, what would be the next radiating road from Connaught Place, but I'm not really sure which one that would be. We'll see, and you'll see as well. I think it might be Baba Khadak Singh Marg, but let's see. So that is a prominent roundabout which connects Ashoka Road to Sansad Marg, and Ashoka Road is of course not a road that we've talked about till now in any of the previous videos, but it's a road that should be talked about, and not just because of what you see on your right, which is I think it's like a Delhi police office, a big office of the Delhi police, but that's not what I'm referring to. I'm referring to the road and its importance because of what it refers to, which is the king Ashoka, who ruled a large part of India more than 2000 years ago. I think it was like 2200 years ago. And in fact, he was also called Ashoka the Great. Now, while I did do haha after saying Ashoka the Great, Ashoka is definitely no laughing matter as far as India and Indian history goes, and as far as his relevance goes. He promoted Buddhism throughout India and even beyond. He ruled almost the whole of India, and he practiced non-violence after initially committing a lot of violence in order to win over India, and that's when he converted to Buddhism. And the Indian emblem, which is the national emblem, is also taken from Ashoka's pillars. It's called the Ashoka pillar. So yeah. So in our quest to get lost in central Delhi, we've actually come across a very familiar building, which of course we've seen before in a previous video. This is the Gurudwara Bangla Sahib, And I think my earlier guess was right. As we walked on Ashoka Road, we were actually walking closer to Baba Khadak Singh Marg. So I guess we would not be on Ashoka Road for long, probably, unless the randomizer asks us to go straight. But for now, I think I would want us to cross Ashoka Road and go to the other side, just because we've already seen the Gurudwara in an earlier video, so it's good to explore what's on the other side. And yeah, of course, once we are on the other side and closer to the intersection, we'll see where we go. And it's interesting how that mural was talking about religious harmony, which is also what Ashoka stood for. So I think I recall something interesting. The Ashoka Road probably refers the farthest back in history of all the roads within Delhi, because there's probably nobody older than Ashoka that our roads refer to. But anyways, as you see, I'm spinning the wheel again, and let's see where we go. Okay, it says one more right for us. Had to take a break, had to pee. And while I was peeing, I was wondering if this app that I'm using for randomization, that's where we came from, the Ashoka Road. So I wonder if this app is random enough, because I think we've seen a lot of right turns, right? So I don't know, but I guess we'll see how the next few turns show up. But for now, we can maybe just walk around this circle and then take the right turn. That, of course, is the General Post Office, or the GPO. We've seen it in a previous, more planned video. In this unplanned, getting lost in New Delhi video, we are back here again, and we'll try to go around the GPO, the General Post Office, and then eventually take the right turn from Ashoka Road, which means we'll end up going to the Baba Khadak Singh Marg, and we'll start walking towards Connaught Place, which is a familiar walk that we've done earlier, but this one, of course, would be from a different perspective, because we'll be walking towards Connaught Place, and we'll try to get lost. Hopefully we'll get lost, and then we'll find ourselves. Let's see. Okay, that's a public toilet. Oopsie. I hope she did not think I'm recording a public toilet from outside. That wasn't the intention. But anyway, so I think I'll cross this one, and I'll have you cross this one, and then we'll probably reach Baba Khadak Singh Marg, maybe. So I was wrong. While we've crossed this road, which is the other side of the Ashoka Road, we are not yet at Baba Khadak Singh Marg. This is another road. I'll quickly, shortly see what's the name of this road. But it's not Baba Khadak Singh Marg, definitely. I think after crossing this one, I'll get to reach Baba Kharak Singh Marg. And what's up with those trees? Wow. They're like slanting this ways, and I see quite a few of them. I'm not sure if this is like some natural phenomena, or maybe it's just us humans, we've done something to those trees. And yeah, I think I sneaked a peek at that board. This road is actually the Kali Badi Marg, and just after crossing this, I think we should be able to reach uh, the church, right? We've seen this church before in our previous video. This is the Sacred Heart Cathedral. It's on the left, and on the right we've got the General Post Office, and of course on the other side we've got the Ashoka Road, which is where we came from trying to get lost.